in your slipper because there's a chance something's in there that can kill you. That's just fucked up.
Yeah. And I'm sure all the people that got shipped there worked together to make it a very lovely place.
Yes, I'm sure. Nothing but
It
a
wasn't
good.
just a giant ass rape fest until you died from something. Guaranteed you wanted something to be in your slipper. That was the best part of your day when something bit you. I bet you everyone who got bit back when it was like a prison island, everyone who got bit by a snake or a spider died with a smile on their face. They were like, thank God I didn't just get ass fucked to death by a bunch of crazy Australians.
I'm not even going to attempt to argue that. That is probably bang on true.
Guaranteed. And that should be their tourism posters.
I fully agree. I think that's how they should start remarketing that country.
And in case you guys didn't hear, in an Eric and Gord run Canada, we will have a very similar prison system, but it'll be set up in Canada's Arctic.
That's right.
You will not get shoes or a jacket, but we will have an open door policy. You can come and go as you please.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to go ahead.
The polar bears took over an entire town last winter, but you guys go ahead.
You want to risk it? I'll fully support you in that. I'll even give you a toothpick just to help.
The thing about how to tell if you're dealing with a grizzly bear or a black bear in the woods, if you can't tell, climb a tree. Just climb a tree. If it's a black bear, it'll climb up and kill you. If it's a grizzly bear, it'll break the tree and kill you. That's how you can tell.
That's how you can tell. It's fascinating. Before I get to my next little random fact, I actually want to tell you about a little story that happened to me the other day.
Okay.
I was coming back. I had to pop out of town for a minute to pop over to this farm to grab some food, and I was on my way back. And when you come up to this four-way stop intersection, there's like this slight little hill. So there's like a brief moment where you can't see the stop sign. Then you come up the other side and you just brake and you're there. Well,
does this involve weird unidentifiable dump trucks again?
No, not in the slightest.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Carry
on. So I, as I hit that little dip and as I'm coming up the other side, all of a sudden there's a fucking car accident right there in the middle of that intersection.
Were you involved?
No, I was not. There was a pickup truck that was already stopped at the stop sign in front of me. I rolled up long behind him. When I first saw the accident,
when I'm like, whoa, and then somebody shit in my pants. I don't know who. Like, there was a car accident right on my car.
No, it was all right in front of me. I was in no way a part of any of it. But the interesting thing about was just the fact that, like, when I rolled up, what I saw was one of the two vehicles actually still sort of moving. And it looked to me like it was that vehicle's fault completely. Like, okay, well, looking where that car is, where this one moved, clearly this guy was moving faster, so therefore they ran the light, and that just made sense. Or ran the stop sign. So I stop, put my flashes on, I go up. I'm initially talking to the guy in the pickup truck who didn't get hit because he was right there, and I'm just like, because he got out and he ran over to see if the van that almost hit him where they were okay. The other vehicle involved, he sort of comes over to do the same thing, make sure everybody was fine. So I'm talking to the pickup. I'm like, so what the fuck happened? He goes, it was a car and an SUV. The SUV had a mother and two younger daughters in it, preteen daughters, and the car was just this young dude driving by himself. And he said, he says the family was starting to come through the intersection. They had the right. They're going through. This fucking guy comes out of fucking nowhere, doesn't even bother, looking for or trying to stop, and drove right into the back of the van and sent her on like a full 360-degree fucking spin around and shit, almost hit this guy's car. So I'm like, holy crap. So, it was just interesting to be able to see that, just because of even what you see doesn't mean that's what happened. Right? So I thought that was just sort of a neat little lesson learned. So I'm standing there, and talking to him. So everybody's, for the most part, was fine. The mother was really shaken up, but the daughters were fine. They were not hurt in the slightest. Everybody was fine physically. So I'm starting to. So I'm like, well, cars aren't all, because now you got car parts all over the fucking middle of this intersection. You got her blocking fucking 3/4 of one road to get through. And I'm like, okay, so, and everybody is just like, all the other cars when they're rolling up to this intersection, like nobody knows what to do because nobody knows where to go and everybody wants to look at this accident. So I start directing traffic. I've never directed traffic before. But I've seen enough movies. Huh?
Caused 8 more accidents.
Well, ironically enough, I didn't. I almost did at one point because people just stopped paying attention. They weren't watching my hand movements. But I was doing a lot of like arm waving and stuff because I think, I've seen enough movies for this. I think I know how to handle this. And one fucking guy, this older dude, rolls up in a big, huge fucking dually Dodge fucking diesel pickup truck, pulls in the middle of the intersection and then stops right there. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, it's an accident. He goes, yeah. He goes, but what happened? And I looked at him, I go, it's a fucking car accident, man. I said, move your car. And he goes, well, you have to be a dick about it. I said, get your fucking car to the intersection. I just yelled at him.
That's when you just pull, you're like, look, citizen, move on. You want me to cuff you or what? Keep driving. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Drive on. So he fucks off. Well, the mother of the car came up to me afterwards. She's like, that, I swear to God, she goes, I needed that. She goes, we're over here like, kind of freaking out and, being all stressed. She goes, and also we hear you yell at this guy, just move your fucking truck out of the intersection. And he's like, as he rolled by, he looked at me, he's like, that guy's an asshole. You block traffic, you fuck, so you can get an inside deal. Get the fuck out of here. So I did my civic duty. So for 45 fucking minutes, I stood there and directed traffic. Even after the cops showed up, I was still directing traffic because he was getting information.
Of course.
And so finally the cop comes up to me and he goes, and keep in mind, I'm a fat guy. It's a very hot day. It was really hot and very sunny. I got no sunscreen on. I'm roasting like a fucking tomato in a frying pan and looking like it. So finally the cop comes up to me and goes, okay, I need to get your statement. I said, you don't want my statement. He goes, why? I said, because what I saw is not what happened. He's like, oh. He goes, oh, okay. And he goes, so you're just sort of here helping? I'm like, I'm just here directing traffic till somebody can tell me to go the fuck home. He goes, you can go the fuck home. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I'd be happy to tell you what happened. I would fucking drag that out too. All right, the first perpetrator.
First perpetrator was sitting down by the river.
His vehicle came out, like 3 of the vehicles are gone now. They all took off. This was clearly a hit and run. I take up all kinds of shit.
They brought a bulldozer. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
I need you to report on any robberies in the area immediately prior to this accident, because these guys were clearly running from something. Make shit up. Now I gotta go stake out the airport. You guys gotta cover the bridge. What are you talking about? Just get to the bridge.
Oh, I really should have done that. Would have been amazing.
No time for questions, man.
Stop wasting time. Hurry.
And the cops are just sitting there till like the next morning. Like, what the fuck are we waiting for? I don't know, man. But you want to be the one who goes back? No. I would love to. Oh, God, I wish I could be you just for one day. Just to do that.
Just to be able to pull that one off. Yeah,
was
so
there
that was
anything place right before this accident? They have my daughter. I would have done
that. My mommy hit me once. Wait, what? Sorry, I thought I was just talking about complaints. Whatever.
They have my child. You're not listening. I thought it was just these 2 cars. Yeah, you would.
But yeah, so that was my exciting thing. I can actually, one thing I will say is the vast majority of all the cars that went through there appreciated my actions. I got a lot of waves and thank yous, which was really nice. One guy flipped me the bird, which I thought he was just being a dick. Fuck him.
As do we all appreciate your actions.
So yeah, it's my one thing of me doing something good, I guess. Yeah.
Genuinely, thanks for doing that. That's awesome. That's a nice thing to do. Most people wouldn't, obviously, because nobody offered to help you, right?
No, not one person. No, everybody. No, not one person thought about going anywhere near that intersection. I'm like, I walked up to the one guy at the picture. I'm like, should we move that giant bumper out of the fucking middle of the intersection? And we both went to move for it, and then we both paused to look to each other and go, I don't want to fuck up evidence, though. We're both like, yeah, okay, fuck it. We're just going to leave it there. We'll direct traffic around it. So, but I mean, then we could have, because both parties ended up pulling out their cell phones and taking pictures and shit. So, but yeah.
I had a less heroic happening today. Not quite your story whatsoever, but I spilled a Slurpee and blamed it on my customers. That's cool.
Perfect.
That's my heroic story. It's just like knocked the Slurpee over, just complete. No one saw it, but it was like the least graceful thing. I just went to pick it up and then did this weird fumble and fucking splashed all over the floor. And there's these two young guys laughing at me. My boss came up. He's like, "What happened here?" I'm like, "Fucking two guys spilled my Slurpee." Like, so come on, I'm going to get a mop. Keep an eye on those two.
They're probably involved in the accident out in Milton.
It could have been. Where were you guys whenever that happened?
Oh man! Though the other thing about that whole accident was that the guy who caused the accident, the guy who blew through the stop sign and caused the accident, he actually tried blaming the mother.
Yeah, of course.
It was all her fault, and he was going on. It was all her fault. It was completely her fault. Because when the cop told me, just before the cop told me to leave, I just we said, like, we just briefly spoke, and I'm like, yeah, I said, my description of what happened isn't going to fucking help at all. What I saw didn't actually happen. And he goes, it's okay. He says, because with the guy in the pickup, he goes, and the accounts of all three people in the minivan, he goes, and from what I'm staring at, clearly this guy is to blame for this entire thing. He goes, there's no getting around that. He goes, he's getting charged. I'm like, right on. Fuck him. I always wish that if there's a situation like that, I always wish that there would be like an extra charge for lying to try to cover it up first.
Oh, there should be. Well, yeah. I guess you could charge it with an obstruction of justice by doing that.
Yeah, maybe.
I was like, I don't know who was to blame, but I got beer all over me.
Bitch. Funny. So that was interesting. That was my interesting thing that happened.
That's very interesting and cool.
Yeah.
Nothing like that ever happens to me anymore. Well, I don't really do things, so that hinders my ability to be in situations because I don't do stuff.
I just don't. Okay. So back to interesting things. Did you know that there are more different possible chess game variations than there are atoms in the observable universe?
I don't think that's interesting.
You got 10 to the 120th power for how many possible chess game variations, and only 10 to the 80th power of that there are atoms in the observable universe.
Huh.
So there you go.
There's a thing. I am not good at chess. I enjoy chess. I am not good at it.
No, I suck at it. I can set a board up.
I can play. I actually did all right the last time I played. I was competent. I was playing. There was guys in that community center I used to hang out with. There's some pretty hardcore chess guys.
Oh, that's right.
And one of them finally challenged me, and I was like, no one was there that day or whatever. He's just like, well, you want to play? I'm like, yeah, fuck. There's a reason I haven't. I did, and I did okay, but still, I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm good. I just know how to move the pieces, and sometimes I do it right.
Yeah.